Hola from the west side. It is me, DC the Purple Diva, and welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Thursday, y'all. Or Friday, if you're in the East. Hey, Miss Mahogany. Thanks for coming and hanging out. So, I posted something on Facebook today, y'all, because it appears that everybody is trying to do YouTube now. Everybody's trying to do YouTube or they're trying to do a podcast. Like the other day, one of the bigger YouTubers, Joe V Beauty, was talking about she was looking for mixers, and I thought she was kidding when she says that she couldn't find them. They were like sold out. So I did some Amazon searching myself today because, I'm not getting ready to get something right now, but I was just, checking around prices. People are buying everything up. They're buying it up to the point that it's making the news. That's right, y'all. People buying up mixers and microphones to do podcasting and whatever from home or wherever they are made the national news. Now that's hilarious. But here's my thing. Instead of everybody running out there and deciding that now's the time for them to go do a podcast or to start a YouTube channel, why don't people start supporting the millions of people that are already out there doing podcasts and doing YouTube, who are already here before this happened? Because it's not that easy to do a podcast or to do YouTube. I've done both, so I'm speaking from true experience. I did like a podcast that was actually, it was actually going out on the internet radio station and a real radio station. And then it was recorded and replayed back into podcasts. And I did that for like almost 10 years. And I did it. It was a once a week podcast. Doing the live streaming on YouTube, I can tell you, is probably harder because I'm doing it more often. When I was doing the podcast, I was doing a radio show and I was playing music. And I would talk about some of the artists because I would play artists that didn't necessarily get on mainstream radio back then. And I played who I wanted to, and I didn't have to worry about, whether the artists were getting paid because it was an actual radio station, so the artists got paid. But, you can't do that on YouTube. You will get a copyright strike. That's why y'all get to hear reflective every time I go live stream. It's my background music. It's nice and it's mellow, and it suits the time that I usually go live. Now I got some trap music in there. I started out with the trap music, but I decided that probably wasn't the right kind of music for a show that was generally late at night. That's what I decided. But yeah, now everyone and their mama is going to try to do them something from home. And maybe they'll do some great things. I encourage everybody to try it. But if you're going to do it, just make sure you're consistent. Because for me, I'm at the point where I think I need to build a website, because I know that I'm going to be doing more than just the YouTube. I'm going to be, publishing books and maybe some music if I ever put out some of my songs that I've written. Thank you, Miss Mahogany. Yeah, he's upstairs. He's supposed to be in the shower, but I don't hear any water running, so I don't know if that's really happening. It probably won't happen until I get off of here. But he's going to the Thunderbird, the planes that are flying over to thank all the essential workers, like the healthcare workers and everything. Well, it's the Thunderbirds, though. It's the Thunderbirds. They're gonna be flying over downtown LA tomorrow, and so his dad is going to take him with him, so that he can sit there and he can stand there at where his dad works, because they're actually closed right now, and they can just stand there and watch it as it flies over, practicing social distancing. So because he really loves planes, that's like my son's thing. It's been his thing since he was 2. When he was 2, and this was around the time that he got diagnosed with autism, he used to like this, I guess it's like a claymation type of airplane called JJ the jet plane. And it used to come on PBS. Now you can find it all over YouTube. And they had 2 different versions of the show, because I guess the makers of the show are actually believers. And so they had a version of the show for believers. And they had, a regular one that was still had the same stuff in it, but it was, a little more subtle in the message. And so we bought, obviously, the believer set of it, but he loved those planes because the faces of the planes were very, very expressive, and he could watch that over and over and over and over again, y'all. But he would always laugh at the funny parts. I mean, he loved it. Matter of fact, when he first started watching YouTube, that's what he went on YouTube looking for, JJ the jet plane. So he was watching all the JJ videos as an adult, still laughing at the same parts. I'm like, because when he was a kid, I had to take all the videos and hide them from him so he would stop watching them, because he had become obsessed with them. And then when I had the last house I had a huge backyard. He had made the backyard into an airfield with, the landing strip and everything for the planes. But that's like his thing, is airplanes. I mean, he liked the Legos, which a lot of people on the spectrum really like the Legos and building everything. He loves those too, but his thing is planes. And so, because that's like one of his things, that's what he and his father, where they connect. His father like takes him to all the air shows that are in, Southern California and in the Southwest. And, they go and, watch planes and stuff. He just likes doing that with him because that's something that he loves to do. But it's interesting enough, my brother used to love planes too. My brother used to be able to tell you everything about a plane. And he wanted to be a pilot. But he didn't end up doing that. But that's when he was a kid, he wanted to be a pilot. But I always wondered if my brother, if they were doing like the testing and stuff that they do now and that they did when my son was younger, if my brother would have been tested on and would have been considered on the spectrum, because they said that my brother was ADHD, but they weren't talking, at that time they weren't talking about autism that as much. It really became more of a thing that you heard more children having starting in the 90s and moving forward. And it's been like a huge boulder rolling down a hill ever since, like today. I knew that some of this stuff that was going on it's really, I knew it was going to impact adults with developmental disabilities, like my son. So a lot of things that the governor of California had promised funding for that would really be things that would help people on the spectrum to get a lot more services and better services. The funding's gone now because of all of the money that the state had to spend, doing what's going on, and because they have no idea if they'll get any assistance from the federal government, because we cannot depend on 45. We can't. We can't even depend on 45 to tell us the truth. But nonetheless, they were talking about, just basically kind of letting parents know what was going on and, what we would need to do in order to, get services for our kids who are adults. And here's something I found out. I found out that some other programs, other than the one my son was in, have been keeping in constant contact, and have done virtual things with their clients, like movie nights or virtual parties, done virtual calls with all of them. And these people have called me once, his father once, and they were supposed to call him, but I'm really not sure that happened. So when we were in this town hall today, the virtual town hall today, I brought this up, and I was told that even though, everything's virtual, I can still switch him to another program like I was going to do before all of this happened. So I'm going to start back on that, get him out of this program, because here's the thing. When all of this is said and done and it's over, I don't even know if they're going to be able to operate that program that way because of the social distancing. And then they provided transportation. Well, how are they going to, are they going to be able to have provide all the transportation? So it's like all of these things that I'm thinking about. So I just think I should be moving to find another program, obviously one that will give him transportation once they're back in session, whenever that is. Because right now it's literally looking like there may not be any physical services like in presence until at least July or August, maybe. So basically, he's going to be home for what 4 or 5 months, and that's crazy for someone with autism. Let me just tell y'all that Because the concern is that obviously he'll, you know, start regressing. We don't want that. So definitely need to get him into another program. Definitely do. Hey, Zero. I know. He wanted to be one. And then, but he was really into music. So he, decided to do the music. But then he did think about, I think like when he was younger, like maybe in his late 20s, he thought about going into the reserves. But, you have to do that before you're 35. So, too late now. Because he's in his late 40s. But, and now, now he wears glasses. And, back then, I think pilots had to have 20/20. He had 20/20 back then, though. I'm the only one who has never had 20/20. Well, I might have had 20/20 when I was in elementary school. But I did. But I had to wear I had to wear glasses, and now I have to wear them still, for looking at fine print and stuff. But I had to wear glasses because I had astigmatism. Yeah. I was the one who got everything that was messed up. I had to wear braces and I had to wear glasses. It was tragic. Tragic when I was in high school. I was already a nerd and I looked like a nerd because I wore braces and I had glasses. But it's crazy though, the things that are going to get cut. Because like here in California, the governor and all state employees are going to have to take I think a 10% pay cut starting in July. So and I'm sure that's going to happen in other states because, as, things start to open back up and states start to open back up, state services based on how much money every state has spent, they're all going to have to adjust their budgets. And I can just tell you that when the governor, they're taking the money away from the places that need it the most. They're taking away from the special population or the, adults who have disabilities, specifically developmental disabilities, and they're taking it away from the schools. They're getting hit the hardest, and with kids across the country right now just struggling to go to school. How are the school systems going to be able to recover if they're having money taken away from them? I just don't understand that. And I do not understand how our federal government feels that the states should be able to stand on their own. I mean, this is supposed to be a country, and what do we have a federal government for if they're not going to come in and try to be of assistance to the entire country at a time like this? Other countries are doing that. And I do not understand how 45 and his son-in-law, that's dude be up there talking too. And let us not forget how long it took for him to actually get security clearance, but yet he was privy to everything before he ever had it. I just don't understand. But this is who people elected. Let me just say that. And he has to know that his approval rating is down. And I really think that he just cares about getting reelected. He does not care about the health and safety of our country. And I'm really interested as to what this White House whistleblower is going to be saying. The one who spoke in front of the Senate today, or the House of Representatives. I believe he spoke in front of the House. And 45 just dumps it off as a disgruntled employee. Everybody's disgruntled if they have an opinion contrary to him. I know. They sure as heck don't care about the people, Zero. You're absolutely right about that. And I'm not talking about I'm not even talking about us being beholden to them. But you guys know they're going to give out some type of other stimulus. This guy's going to do anything because he thinks he can, he's going to do that because he thinks that may buy the votes. Thinks it may buy the votes. I don't think so. I mean, there's many of us who will vote, who would consider vote for Satan himself before we would vote for 45 again.
My dude, watch out. It's my guy. We talking bad about my guy.
And then the other thing that this whistleblower is saying is that he told 45 back in January. Did I not tell y'all that man knew way before he started to do anything about it? I told y'all 45 knew. And he decided to blame it on the Democrats and say that it was a hoax. All kinds of nonsense. Now he's swearing he's going to have a vaccine by the end of the year. I'm not trusting anything that they whipping up in 9 months. Why would you trust something? A vaccine that, will have all kinds of crazy side effects. I told you, I asked my dad if he was going to get the vaccine. He says no. Now, I've told you my dad's a doctor. Now, of course, his job may try to get him to get one, but my father has never had to get those vaccines. He's somehow gotten around getting vaccines. And he is a medical professional. But my father has not. I think the last time my dad had a vaccine probably was over 30 years ago. He don't get the flu shots. I know a lot of people think they made a mistake voting for him. But don't make that mistake again, y'all. And Joe Biden, Where you at? Where are you at? Come on up out that basement, man. Come on out the bunker. Get out there and do some virtual campaigning. Do something. We know that you can't be all over the place because conveniently, we're all ordered to stay at home, except for 45, so he can continue to campaign. And you can't out in public. But dude, get on the internet. Put out some commercials. What is wrong with you, Biden? Really? Because right now, he's got all this stupid stuff out here about Obamagate. I can't.
About the Obamagate.
I can't with him.
That's what I think about the Obamagate.
You know,
blow it out their ass.
I'm like, what the, where, you know, and you guys, I know everybody has seen his.
Still trying to blame Obama.
Getting up there talking to us about all these terrible things that should just never happen. The way he talks to the American people, can somebody verify that he really did go to college and that he did go to class? or did somebody do all of his work for him and pass all his classes for him?
Bingo. Privilege is real.
You know what I'm saying? Because this dude, he had to have gotten an F in public speaking. Is this the way that this man spoke when he was doing all, you know, like all his real estate university seminars and stuff? Is this how this man spoke and people paid to hear him speak like this? Because, you know, I didn't even watch The Apprentice. Let me just be clear about that. But if he's speaking like this now, he must have spoke like this on The Apprentice. I can't with him. I tried. You know, I try to have respect for the office. But he has no respect for the office. And he has no respect for my intelligence. He has no respect for your intelligence. He doesn't give a crap about our health. He just wants to force the country back open. You know, he just wants to force the country back open because he thinks that's going to keep it from being a recession. Too late. We now have an unemployment rate that supersedes the Great Depression. You know, and let's see. Everything's been canceled.
That man is friends with Putin. You don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Everything's been canceled. So how are you planning on opening back up the country? Let's see. In California, they have canceled just about every county fair, everyone. And the one in Los Angeles County is supposedly the biggest county fair in the country. All gone. Everything at the Hollywood Bowl, all concert venues, all that stuff done. Oh, except for, I don't know, SoFi Stadium, you know, the new stadium that the Rams are going to be playing at. They're getting ready to go on a big hiring spree. Virtually. Because they can't talk to anybody in person, but they're going to do a virtual hiring spree. Because apparently they still have concerts starting in August. And they still believe that we're going to be playing football in September. Oh, hey, Uppity. Hey, Treeland. Uppity girl. Let me just say, you dodged a bullet with a capital B. Hey, Matt, where you been? Where have you been, Matt? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. The liars. All right. I saw that message you left, but we good, Matt. We ain't never not been good. We ain't never not been good. Just just the many things that the tale was told about. I think it was yesterday or today. I don't remember because it's all blending together now. Of how they got together, and he tried to do the same daggone thing to you, girl. And if she had been smart, she would have let that happen. But she was stupid. And you dodged a bullet. You dodged the bullet, girly. Yeah. Because the story was told of how he just showed up. You, girl, yes, it was a nuclear bomb is actually a better description. Cass is correct. You are way, way above that person's level. Way above their level. I'm like, way, 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 way above them. Let me just say it. Oh, no. This, you weren't even in the conversation. It was strictly about them. I think it was those guys. And yeah, and I think JV was part of the conversation, but because I even said in the chat that you dodged a bullet. That's all I said. I said she dodged a bullet. And I'm like, no, that was not for you. Exactly. Yeah, a nuclear bomb. When she puts it out on her website, girl. I mean, it's just too much. It's just way, 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 way too much. And it's that's why I say be your authentic self. Those of us who are ourselves, I'm like, for example, everybody calls me DC. That's not just, I didn't just come up with that name on here. It was already, what people call me. Or they call me Purple Diva. Either or. Most people don't use my government name. Except for my man. He don't use my nickname, and I don't use his. It's like, but everybody else calls us by, people call you by.
Come here, woman. That's our pet name.
He's silly. Oh my God, he made me laugh. But I every time the person that's in office says something, I feel sick. I feel like our country is in some deep shiznick right now. And we don't know how to dig our freaking way out of it. And we as Black people, they're just stomping on us. You hear me? Stomping on us. Stomping us out. This is the reason why.
This is payback.
They want to open up the country. Because in most places where they're keeping track, about 30% of the people who are actually coming down with this are Black.
Payback for Obama.
No matter what your social economic is, it's hitting Blacks who are affluent, middle class, and poor. It's just hitting us. So you can see that little myth that they were floating around at the beginning is a complete and utter lie. That we had an extra resistance to it. No, we don't. We probably have less resistance to it. Especially since it came out of some animal organism. Hi, Dance. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for coming in. Please don't forget to smash the like button. How are you tonight or this morning, depending on where you are? You should watch Uppity, because I don't think I think you were in the chat, but I'm not sure. No, you were not in the chat. You were not in the chat when I heard the stuff that I heard that led me to make that comment. You were not there. You know. But they were just talking about, how that couple got together. And how that particular man operates. And he was about to do the same thing to you. No, they are not saying a damn thing, Matt. Not a damn thing. But everybody wants to know how many of, if it's a large portion of Black people that are being hit. Now, granted, the majority of the people who are,
the numbers will always be manipulated.
I know they are being manipulated. I said, now, granted, the majority of the people who are succumbing are older people overall, but everybody who is Black is not. Matter of fact, I believe it was EMT or something in New York was 34? Gone. So it's definitely, they're manipulating things. And you know that historically we don't trust doctors. We don't trust doctors. We don't trust doctors. Even though at one point, and still even today, we still have Black people who are going out there and Black men who are going out there to become doctors, which is a good thing because more than likely that's probably, you know, if we're going to go to a doctor, we want to go to a Black doctor. I personally, that's most of my doctors in my life have been Black. And they have been people who were colleagues of my dad's. But that was just my feeling. It's because a Black doctor would understand me better than somebody who wasn't. All right, you know what? This whole Obamagate is a bunch of BS. It's a deflection tactic because 45 is trying to take the, you know, shine off of him. The spotlight is on you, dude. You are the president and you need to do something that is beneficial to this country, whether you want to or not. Because let me just say this. If it becomes more evident that you could have done something faster and you just didn't, man, you're going to lose a lot of those people who voted for you. So stop hoping that we all die from this thing so that we're not around to vote. I know that's what you might be hoping, but many of us are not dumb. And we have stockpiles. We have stockpiles of mass. Let's just say that. And, you know, and we're finding ways to make money and to keep jobs so that we can keep roofs over our house, over ourselves. Because we're not trusting that landlords are not going to be putting people out or that mortgage companies are not going to start foreclosing. They need to admit it. All those people who did not vote in 2016. All you people who did not vote.
That's us.
My son voted.
That's us.
You know? Matter of fact, I think that's the first time he voted. Because he's only 25 this year. He's only going to turn 25 this year. Yeah, I think he was what? 19? 20? Yeah. He has autism. Now, in the primaries, he voted for Bernie. I did not. My son likes Bernie. He seems to appeal to younger people. So I don't know what it is, what's it going to take. I really think for Biden to be successful, it's going to be determined by who he has as his running mate. I'm just going to be perfectly honest about that. But it's not going to be Bernie Sanders. I can tell you it's not going to be Bernie.
He got years left. He fuck around, but and died on TV.
Yeah, it's not going. Yeah, it's not going to be Bernie because Bernie. It's got to, you know. But they're saying that the ones that he's thinking about, people who are on that short list, are there's several women. One of them is Elizabeth Warren. I'm not a fan. Another one is Kamala Harris. Still not a fan. And then another one is that one who ran for governor in Atlanta, in Georgia, Stacey Abrams. She's also on that list. I like her. However, even though the country was ready for a quote in quotes black president, I don't think that they would really warm over to a black woman being the vice president. I just don't. Hey, just chilling. I just don't think that they would. But Biden better do something because, you know, I mean, yeah, he can't just assume that 45 is going to fall on his own sword and, you know, let everything go to hell like it appears he's doing right now.
His best friends are Russian.
You know, I know. He looks up to whatever that man is, Putin. Yeah. And
Putin stank. That's his boy.
But Putin thinks he's an idiot.
Of course.
And laughs in his face, lies in his face, and he believes this man. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? He tells you he had nothing to do with it, so you say, well, he said he didn't do it. Like, really? You dumb, you know what? But anyway.
Just real.
That's the way it is.
I bet you they miss Obama now.
I'm sure they do, and I'm sure Obama don't miss being in there. I do, however, want to see that virtual graduation thing he's gonna be doing. I bet you that's the other reason why this 45 probably brought up this old
because he
BS.
wasn't invited to none of that shit.
He's
never
mad because
salty.
They wanted Obama as the commencement speaker, and they didn't want him. He's mad because they wanted 44, and nobody wanted him. That's what he's mad at. He's jealous. You guys, he's jealous of 44. 44 is not thinking about you, 45.
Remember, his whole campaign was built on talking shit about Obama.
He don't care. He don't care. He don't even care. You know?
Politically, without Obama, Trump doesn't exist.
You know, I mean, he's not thinking about you. Michelle ain't thinking about you. You know, Sasha and Malia not thinking about you. They are private citizens now.
Trying to get a second term, which he won't get. Still blaming.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, they are private citizens doing their own thing.
You on your own merits, motherfucker. They don't look good.
It's like, so you make up stuff. So now we got an Obama. You know, and I mean, there's been a couple of black YouTubers who have, you know, of course, covered it. But they had slanted views because apparently they don't particularly care for 44. So, you know, I mean, I think 44 was fine. Now, was he the best president ever? Do I think that he was a president that was for the black people? Y'all.
Nope. He was neutral as shit.
He was neutral. He was neutral.
He was the first one.
He was neutral because he had to be.
Yeah.
And let's all keep in mind that the Bushes are his freaking cousins, y'all. All the presidents are related. All of them. I'm sure if we go digging into Trump, he's related to one of the previous ones too. Somehow, some way. They are related. They're all freaking related. It's a very incestuous office. Let me just say that. Hey, Agrip. What are you doing? Fine. You caught me during the last 10 minutes. He is. It is. I hate to say it. It's like you're mad at somebody who's not even thinking about you. Stop blaming things on the previous administration and get your, you know what, together.
Twitter and motherfuckers going back
You
and
know,
forth.
I mean, this dude,
That's y'all's motherfucking.
he be writing stuff on Twitter, and I keep unfollowing him on Twitter, and somehow I keep getting back followed to him. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was only following him because of 44. Now I follow 44's page. I'm not trying to follow you. I don't need to know what you're tweeting at 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, why are you up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Why aren't you in bed with your wife? Oh, we don't want to talk about that. You know, Michelle Obama is my forever first lady. She had class. She exactly. See, she's still out there making a difference. You know, as a private citizen. He's very unstable. He's very unstable, Eli. Very unstable. We're doing fine, Mo Grizzly. How are you? But, you know, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I am nonpartisan. And so I generally vote based on issues. And here's my thing. There's nothing that 45 has ever said that would make me think that he cares about anything that I care about. Like, you guys know that autism is a really big thing for me. And talking about that population, he kind of pretended like he was interested when he was running for office, but he wasn't really interested. So I don't believe anything he has to say when it comes to that part of the population, especially when he put this crazy person over the Department of Education. Because y'all know she's just doing stupid stuff up in there. I feel for our children because we have an idiot in charge of the Department of Education. Your vote is for sale. Man. Well, y'all know that alcohol sales have climbed across the country. So I guess they think that the whole country is going to be a bunch of alcoholics when this is over. You know? But what it is that, you know, all the bars are shut down. So the ones who do normally go to a bar and drink and, you know, pay all that daggone money for their drinks out in public, they're now, you know, drinking the cheap liquor at home. Ironically, like when I would go to bars, I went to do sing karaoke. It wasn't even, you know, and when you're singing, you're not trying to drink. You're asking for a soda. Can I have a soda, please? Can I have some water? Someone almost bought your vote for $13K. Well, my vote's not for sale. I'm just trying to see. Apparently 45 thinks that our votes are for sale. That's why. Why do you think that stimulus went out? Come on, y'all. That was what the stimulus was about. And the reason why they're going to have to do it again is because, well, you know, he was hoping that people would start opening up. He was hoping, that this would blow over last month. It's May and it's not. And it hasn't come to a peak or a plateau. It's plateaued in parts of the country, like the worst hit parts of the country, like California and New York. But what about the rest of the country? Some places that are starting to open up shouldn't be opening up. They really shouldn't. Chicago. People trying to have house parties. What is that about? Can someone explain that stupidness? Oh, and y'all know it's on the South Side because unfortunately that's where you have a certain element. I mean, and it's like, do you not care about your life? And it's young people. It's not old people, it's young people. They ain't got no jobs, or their jobs, have furloughed everybody, or they're working from home if they're, fortunate enough to do that. But then at nighttime, well, they can't go nowhere but their block. So everybody decides, well, let's go over to Pookie's house. So Pookie and Ray Ray over there, along with Tanisha and Shaquisha, having them a good old time. Yeah, you can Zoom a party and everybody be in their respective homes. Those kind of parties are fine. But 20 people in a house, no. And the mayor talking about she's going to start arresting folks. So hopefully they got the message and they're not going to keep doing that foolishness. Pookie who? Pookie and Ray Ray. The boys from around the way. I've been to a couple of Zoom parties too. They're actually kind of fun. It's thinking outside of the box. And how many of us haven't been on IG when all the different DJs with all the different genres have been having their little house parties? All you have to do is, put your phone, put it and Bluetooth it to a speaker, and it's in your house, and you're in the party. Man, you don't need no police handcuffs in your life, though, Mo Grizzly. You don't need the police ones. Exactly. Because they don't know what else to do, Ms. Mahogany. And that's the thing. I mean, they've been partying around here, but they've been staying in their yards. It ain't been like, but some of the people in my neighborhood there's a lot of people who, when it was the stay-at-home order came, they was all there, so they all there. And it is what it is. But I've even had people have been moving out. A few people have moved out. And then I saw someone moving in. And I'm thinking, who moves in the middle of a pandemic? Who does that? And are you like bleaching the place down before you bring any of your stuff in there? Because you can't be sure that the landlord did all of that before they. I mean, are you fumigating the place and everything so that you don't get no? I'm just saying. People are still, there are people still buying houses without actually, they get to, I guess they're doing weird things so that realtors can show them house. They're doing virtual tours and stuff, and then I mean, I guess life goes on for some folk. The kids are running down around. Lord have mercy. I'm kind of fortunate that there's not a lot of kids on my street. Most of the people, if they're younger, they're like young adults. There's a couple like, high schoolers, a couple of younger people, but everybody's pretty much staying inside. Nobody's coming outside unless they're walking their dog or walking to a store or they're getting in their car and leaving. But other than that, nobody's really going outside. They're not leaving their little plot of land. I mean, they come outside, get some air and get some sun, but other than that, they're staying. I know you didn't take a shower, but that's okay. I'm coming up there to help you in a minute because I'm about to finish. Let me come on camera, you guys. I'm about to. Okay. You had an exterminator to come. That's good, more Grizzly. Okay, guys, let me come on camera. We're going to come on camera. David. Oh, there I am. Sorry about that. Let me see. I hit the wrong button. There I go. Okay. Hi, everybody. There's David. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. We appreciate it. Yes, we appreciate it. Say hi, everybody. All right. But as always, before I leave, he just wanted to come say hi to you guys. I offer you guys some peace and blessings from the West Side. I know my hair is looking crazy. It's all over my head. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah. It's still Thursday here. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Stay safe, everyone. Don't go outside unless you have to. Don't go to the stores unless you have to. Don't congregate. And if you're in an area where they're opening up restaurants, please still get your stuff to go and keep it moving, because there are some restaurants that are opening up and allowing people to dine in, and that's just weird to me right now. So let's stay safe, okay? Bye, everybody.